The coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're standing by for the call are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with the Carolina Panthers. I'm Brandon Godden. He's Charles Davis. Full disclosure, we both have mittens. We both have coats on. I'm here in the booth. This one, it's going to be interesting.
I've got the long johns, the socks, the boots, you name it. You know me in cold weather, we don't get along all that well. But these games are always interesting because you never know how it's going to play out. One slip, someone's going for 80 yards, and you could lose a game.
So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
The Eagles send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a loose football. But fortunately, a Panther was able to get on this, so Carolina keeps the ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
He'll look to throw. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here's the Panthers punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will have the football at the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. And they'll go on the ground. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. There he goes right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. They were in the dime. They had 6 defensive backs there. So go ahead and throw it. He threw it, and it hurt it.
It's almost thrown into a blanket of coverage, isn't it? You talk about the best defenders you have are the defensive backs. 6 of them on the field. You're almost asking for trouble, and that's exactly what they ran into. Ended up throwing a pick-6.
Yeah, 6 defenders and 6 points. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick-6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick-6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 1 quarter in the books. It's a close game here early on. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain. And it's 3rd and 2 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Let's go. Blue line.
And they'll run it here. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's the Panthers punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Come the Eagles. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here we go.
They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. opted to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force. And they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. And they'll go on the ground. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Let's go! What?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder coming up at halftime while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box. We'll be sending you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Let's go!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Eagles on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Let's go!
Now back to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. In for the score. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He has not been on his A game, but his team has really picked him up. I think he probably now, second quarter, he's thinking, all right, time for me to get going.
And he also has to keep in mind that, he has contributed. You're exactly right. Not totally on his A game, but guess what?
He's got the touchdown
He's got
pass.
a touchdown pass. Yes, he tempered it with an interception, but he has contributed, and he just can't get down and worry about his own stats. The team's winning. That's cause for celebration, even though there's a ways to go.
And now he'll be looking to contribute a little bit more. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. The snow certainly making conditions difficult, and it's not likely to get better anytime soon, as we turn it right back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
And that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to draw up something good here on 3rd and 13.
Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go now.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's the Panthers punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This will be fielded at the 17.
Whoosh.
It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And they'll run it here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Let's go. Brand 38.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Oh, he knocks him over. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal.
Let's go.
They'll drop to throw. Forced, and he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-0. The The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now let's go. Blue landing.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Well, they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
Here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Come on, let's go.
They'll set up to throw. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Come on, let's go.
He's going to get it running right. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Eagles defense. They work their way back onto the field. Their coordinator has to like what he has seen so far, and you, as a former defensive guy, you have to like what you've seen from this crew.
The way that they're playing this half, whether it was adjustments, changes, or just simply picking up the pace and playing to their potential, it is fun to see when a defense has an offense in check.
They've got him in check so far here.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll start out here with the option left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up the 3rd down.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Back to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the play. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Are you You're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Extra point forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the end result, a Panthers touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Let's go. One.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football?
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on first down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if you picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down because in college football, the clock stops with every first down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
A try here for the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. 5 plays there on that drive. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll set up a throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go! 3:19!
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
The Panthers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Here we go now! Blue 90!
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first 2 downs. It brings up a key 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
Second and goal from the 1.
Come on, let's go!
He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From back at the 3 now, this is 3rd and goal.
Let's go! What? None!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Oh, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.